Vulfpeck, good shape. Buff. This video is brought to you, don't skip ahead, this is just a bit. This video brought to you by coffee because I was drinking it when I made it, and that did more to help the creation of this than any corporate entity. Prost. Time is weird. Everything about what you're seeing and hearing, except for Charles' haircut, would make you think this was recorded 30 years ago. The lamps, the clothing, and goodness knows the instruments. Why it sounds so old. Remember when you weren't allowed to like things? Like between the ages of 10 and 18, when other people around you could dictate what you were and weren't allowed to like. Fighting about bands. Who do you like? NSYNC? The Boys of the Back Streets? Perhaps a spiced girl? Who rocks the hardest? Metallica? Slayer? No. However, in the year 2020, I am no longer a child, and I just realized how weird this is going to look in the future. Okay, I'm recording during this quarantine for a fake virus that you can get rid of just by injecting bleach into your eyeballs, but then again, that's what the president told me, so maybe you don't want to listen to that advice. Anyway, that's why I have this quarantine beard and my hair looks a mess. See, you can just have bad hair and nobody has to die, especially not my Russian barber bro friend who gives me beer. Or you can wear a hat. I should have just... Fear not, though, future viewers. The virus eventually went away after we calmly explained to it that it was really hurting GameStop's bottom line. And then America returned to its perfect system, where nobody needed increased wages, or paid sick leave anymore, or affordable health care, or to not be locked up for decades over nonviolent crimes, or a place to sleep, but today, we are not talking about that. We are talking about Vulfpeck, not sadness. This is songs that make me cry, not completely fixable social problems that make me cry. What are you doing over there? Something? You're doing something? Must be communism. Vulfpeck is a band that formed when four really good musicians got together to form a backup band for something at the University of Michigan. Oh my god, don't kill me, it's a joke. It's a joke, I know what I did. Stop! Jack Stratton thought it sounded pretty good, and soon Vulfpeck was formed. The idea is like, what if we were a 70s TV rhythm section backup band, but also from Germany? Thus Vulfpeck. And even though it sounds like the German for Vulfpack, you're like, oh, does that mean Vulfpack? That would actually be Wolfstrudel. No, not... I mean, Wolfstrudel. The band first gained notoriety by releasing a completely silent album on the streaming service Spotify. What they call the silent album? Sleepify, of course, because you were supposed to put it on repeat and then go to sleep. So it would just rack up views and views and views, plays and plays, meaning more royalties for the band. People often ask me, hey, what if I just put your music on Spotify on repeat and just played it all day, every day? Would you get a ton of money out of it? And I answer them, I say, son, it's 11 p.m. and daddy's eating cereal right now. What are you doing up? And they say, look, stop calling me that. I'm 30 and I'm your roommate. So after I put them to bed, I get out my calculator. What accent am I doing? Is this an accent? Is this my true accent I'm discovering at this very moment? All right, an indie artist. I'm moving farther east as this video continues. An indie artist on Spotify. Okay, so an independent artist on Spotify is paid 0.3 cents per stream. That's 0.3 cents, by the way, meaning every 3.333 repeating plays, an artist will get 1 cent. To extrapolate on that, to earn $100 on Spotify, how many plays do you think that takes? Leave your answer in the comments below. It's 33,000 plays to get $100. So Vulfpeck puts the silent album on Spotify, their fans listen to it on repeat for hours and hours and days, and they end up with $20,000 in royalties. So how many plays do you think that would take? 6 million. It's like between 5 and 6 million, depending on the exact fractions of a cent you end up getting. And yes, they did get that money from Spotify. They used the $20,000 to set up and run a tour, the admission-free tour, which I would assume included free admission. And that is why in 2014, the Duchess of Sweden ordered them to be executed for their crimes. But after hearing these funky jams, everything was cool. Let's talk about music. Okay, remember earlier in this rant when I was talking about how in the past it was less acceptable to fully embrace the things that you were into? Well, the internet came around, and now no matter what thing you like, you're gonna find thousands of other people who also really like that thing. That's why indie music is it's just really good right now. Golden era TV. More like golden era people who look like this learning how to play the bass like they were auditioning for the Wrecking Crew. It's like sometime in the early 2000s, a million band kids found out about Victor Wooten and decided to become him. Seriously, when did everyone get so good at bass? Oh God, it's happening. This is the first track I heard by the Peck Wolves, and it's a doozy. Is it corny? Can this be called corny? Corn has been harnessed, but not to undercut the sugar industry this time, but as an aesthetic of approachability. Everything about this band makes me want to sit down in the corner of this basement and relax. A veneer of corn has been used to hide the technical prowess of one Giuseppe Dart. Articulation is Joe's biggest strength. That guy controls exactly when every note starts and when every note stops. As a result, this busy line has the space to breathe, and you can hear every ounce of complexity, which is made even more impressive by the way the lines are shaped. Under the wrong bassist's fingers, this song is just a series of notes, but Joe gives every phrase direction. Let me explain. Through song. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do 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 do. And this is just his right hand. His left hand does stuff like this. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Electric bass is so important to the sound of funk music that I don't think Joe's contributions here can be overstated. Heck, he might even have the funkiest bass hands ever. Other quick things I like about this song. Lampshade, this riff, the faces, as a person who makes weird faces, and the unison section at the end where the bass and the guitar and the Wurlitzer all sound like one instrument. They're just so freaking together. It's awesome. If funk's blood is made of bass, then its bones are made of drums, and my doctor tells me that's a great way to build people. Let's look at Jack and Theo's drum bones. Trombone. Trombones. There's something here. I'll get it eventually. For these Vulfs, the drum parts are rarely all that technical, which is a fancier word for hard, but then the drum parts are also not exactly what I would call easy. See, in the same way that a bassist like Joe can shape his notes, a drummer must shape the sound of their drums, and Vulfpeck is amazing at this. You see that bit of fabric sticking out from around the snare drum head, and you see how in Deantown the bass drum seems to be full of blankets? Well, drums from the past have a bit of a soft sound to them, usually because of the recording technology available to the bands. Like, yeah, sure, this one microphone is totally going to be enough to pick up an entire drum set. But then back in the day, you didn't have infinite tracks to be sticking mics on. You might be limited to 4 microphones or 4 input sources of some kind. So sacrifices were made, and what we end up with is what we think of as these old drum sounds. Heck, if you go back to like the 40s, you're probably recording directly onto some kind of surface. There's no tape, there's no digital recording, so you would just have a pointy thing etching the sound waves into a disc or a cylinder or whatever is available to you, depending on what decade we're talking about. And if you bring in a big cymbal hit or even just an overly aggressive upright bass note, that needle's gonna pop off the record, pop off of the thing it's etching into and ruin your recording. Like, it'd be mid-take and some guys would be like, wait, you messed it up. We got it quieter. You got to play quieter. So we come up with all these muffling techniques, and now you don't need to do that. It's just fun and sounds cool. That snare sound is somehow cozy. Can a snare drum be cozy? I don't know. Like, my brain knows that what I'm hearing is imperfect and muffled, but I like it. It's like how some people prefer movies to be shot on film, even though we have totally sufficient digital camera technology. Hello, camera. And film is at 24 frames a second, and your TV, what are even our refresh rates on televisions now? 10 times that? Oh my god. Okay. One of the most famous drum fills of all time only sounds that way because somebody left the talkback mic on, a microphone that is specifically only in the room so you can talk to the people that are in the other soundproof room. They recorded it through that, and they're like, oh, that sounds pretty rad, let's just leave that in there. And then you get this. My point is, drums can make a lot of different sounds depending on how you modify them, either physically or through recording magic like microphone tricks and effects. Snare sampler. Okay, here's a short groove I recorded and I just swapped out the snare. I didn't change anything else. Which one is your favorite? Do you prefer 1, 2, 3, or 4? Actually do comment this in the comments below. See, it gets me engagement points in the YouTube algorithm, and maybe the robots will show this video to more people. You can comment pretty much anything, put your favorite month down there, or whatever, who even cares anymore. We're all just shoveling content into the money machine as it dispenses fewer and fewer nickels, because now people like Jimmy Fallon have YouTube channels, and the millions of dollars in TV advertising they get just isn't enough. We also gotta put them on trending every day. Vulfpeck chooses good drum sounds. They transport me to Motown, as in Motown Records. Like in Detroit, which is in Michigan, which is where the band started. See, look, it all makes sense. They're a nerdy, white version of the Funk Brothers. Oh, look, super crispy bass, soft, round drum sounds. They throw a tambourine in there to accent the delicate snare. One more. Just Google Funk Brothers. There was not enough time in this video to discuss that legendary group of session musicians. Let's make some friends. So freaking cool. It's like a musical troll move. Doing this tempo switch thing at the beginning also draws attention to the pronounced slowness of the pulse. This is Baby I Don't Know, and yes, that last bit is written into the official title. Upon first hearing this, I assumed it was about a breakup, like a romantic relationship ending, or at least having some trouble. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. But this line,
I know I was out of line, telling Dad I'm giving up on you.
This makes me think it's about a sibling, which turns us from another breakup song into something less common, a family reckoning song. Ooh, that voice. Yeah, Vulfpeck is not a purely instrumental band, and they frequently collaborate with vocalists like Charles Jones here, as well as other instrumentalists. I'm a big fan of singing, and this song does not disappoint. You got gentle bits, loud bits, the falsetto. Pillow on the bass drum, see what I'm talking about? Not crazy. The closest thing to a long-term singer Vulfpeck has is Antoine Stanley, who's guested on quite a few of their songs, including 1612.
It's a sense, what you need to set it.
This is probably like the most getting busy music paired with the least getting busy looking people you could find. So Toto. It's Toto. By the way, for the most part, what you're seeing is what you're hearing. They record old school too, meaning full takes without a lot of punch-in or mistake cover-ups. They're just this solid. Unlike me, I have a script right here and still have to cut around all my mess-ups. Right. Who else we got? Corey Wong, who gets his name in a song title and is in the Fearless Flyers, which is him and Joe Dart's side project when joined by Nate Smith and Mark Lettieri. All these funk people seem to hang out with each other, and while I'm at it, here's like a list of bands that you might like if you like Vulfpeck, in order of approachability. In order of weirdness. Ripe. St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Nowhere, maybe. Louis Cole is the frontman of Nowhere, a band that combines like funk, jazz, rock, and drum and bass, like EDM drum and bass. It's pretty wild. They swear a lot, so be warned before you start blasting it with, I don't know, polite company around. The Government Knows is a fantastic example of this. Very good song, just, try it with headphones first. So we got Louis Cole over here, also with a nuclear-powered bassist, and a Genevieve. The fact that this many people are this good will never stop to amaze me. Hey, nice mic! The tiny room recordings are great. Equally great are the big house recordings where they put a full-on horn section in their living room. I mean, we've seen this before, but I'll never stop loving it. Oh, we need a fancy studio and a team of elite engineers to do a recording. All you need is a decently sized house, a small team of your friends, a bunch of microphones, and a computer, and cabling. Okay, I'm not making this sound good. Seriously, the barrier for entry has never been lower. It's gone from needing the support of a record label to needing, $2,000 worth of stuff and a computer. Hey, do you remember It Gets Funkier, the Vulfpeck song from earlier in the video? Well, what if I told you that there were, in fact, multiple versions of that song that get funkier? Right now they're on 4, and here's that one. And look who it is, Louis Cole, operating at what I assume is his slowest setting. Guy draws fast. So fast. I love how this keyboard is being used for like a rhythm part where the specific keys it's hitting aren't that important, so we can just wank around like this. This is the kind of energy I want to give off at shows. Do you like jazz? Do you like jazz? Because haha, I got you. You've been listening to jazz this whole time! Well, to be more precise, funk music, especially the kind made by Vulfpeck, is perfect for people who aren't into jazz but want to get into jazz. See, jazz is this huge, nebulous musical concept. I mean, most people think jazz and their mind flies bam to Glenn Miller and his orchestra, or bop to Duke Ellington, or bop to Charlie Parker. And while these people and groups they played in were absolutely jazz musicians, and their music is jazz, Having that as your only frame of reference is like having Citizen Kane be the only thing that comes to mind when you hear the word movie. Jazz is not some relic of the early 1900s kept in a glass case like the crown jewel of a forgotten monarchy. Jazz is current and hip and still on the cutting edge of harmony and rhythm. It just isn't found in a tuxedo as often anymore. While Vulfpeck's music is not pure jazz, whatever that means, it has improvisation, structure, harmony, and instrumentation that'll help ease you in. Then go to Jacob Collier and be like, all that I'm saying is give jazz a chance, or at least Vulfpeck. They're really good, and they make me cry. Bop, 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 here we go. Two, three, four. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. We found your little note. Should I had a talk with you? 'Cause you've been on my mind. I know I was out of line, telling Dad I'm giving up on you. I don't want to. I called you on the phone, but I can't get through to you. I bought a ticket home. Now I'm dreading seeing you. You've given me no choice with your selfish attitude. You'll be pleasant if it suits your mood. No thanks. We get older in slow motion. Don't you throw it all away. 'Cause you've been on my mind. I know I was out of line, telling Dad I'm giving up on you. I don't want to. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Say, baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Hey, well, that was a fun time. Thanks for letting me nerd at you about funk music for the last 20 so minutes. Thank you very much to all of my patrons for getting my bills paid and helping me buy food while we're all kind of locked down here. Extra special thanks to Glasson, Matthew B., James A. Connell Benson, whose name I always mess up, Daniel P., Ali Kuja, Muse the Husky, Shripe, I got some in my throat, Danji Draconid, Blue Alien Fox, Keshit Ariat, is it Ariat? Yoriat? Phalanxia Theroin, Barky Foxtrot, a very Berry Bear, a very fun name to say, Pony Sharp, Ruth, Benny, Aaron Stroshine, did my best. Dragor, X from the Future, Blader Mexican Wolf, Blue Gray Fox, Zombie Squirrel, Dr. Q, Hentai Philiac, the funniest name I have to say, Dry Scale, Krista McKenzie, Annex the Fox, Prickly Bear, Fancy Fox, Wheelie, Tariq, Tim Coffee, Brennan Betzer, Petrov Neutrino, Thor, Whoopi, Rennington, Omega Dragon, Pandora, Magic Eye, Omega Lacona, Angus L. There's two Omegas there that they have to battle now. Unknown Furry, Ruby Redmane, The Armored Wolf, Fuzz Wolf, Vermi Fox, all the animal people putting themselves in order here, Beaten, Sophidius, Seiphodius, I mess that up every time too, Leonardo Lynx, The Dragon Show, and Mama T. Woo! Peace out, everybody.